Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. We are joined now by the owner of his own company. Billy Giannouloudis is his name, and it's Billy G Life Coaching. He's helping people all over the world really become their best selves and better selves, and it's possible. It could happen to you next. Say hello.
What's going on, guys? And that's exactly it. I'm Billy G with Billy G Life Coaching. I'm a life coach and a motivational speaker. And as Jill said, we're helping you become your best self, your better self in the goals and the areas that you're trying to grow in, whether it's mindset, spirituality, your physical body. We're bringing the trifecta together for you to help you move forward in your life.
I love the trifecta. What's the trifecta specifically? It's
mind, body, and soul. Bring them all together.
Perfect. And if we want to reach out to you guys, start off by going to the website, which is?
Yep, BillyGLifeCoaching.com. You can set up a free strategy call with that. Find me on Instagram at Billy Giannouloudis, Facebook, Billy G Life Coaching, or my name. We're all out there, guys. YouTube, once a week with Billy G. There's plenty of options for you.
Now, you feel that most of us are born with all the tools we have, right? But what happens to us? These negativity, this not good enough, the fear, what happens to us, which makes us feel kind of not capable? Could you start there?
Of course, yeah. So like you said, we're born with the tools. We're born with gifts, skills, and it's just talent for that matter to do what we're meant to do. However, through experiences in life, through situations that might not be the best for us, traumas for that matter, whatever it is under the sun, our life starts to take a certain course. But in doing that and bringing people back to a place where they realize how capable they are, you start to realize that there's shells on us, limitations put on us growing up, whether it's limiting beliefs, whether it's just never truly stepping into all the gifts and the power that you have.
Yeah.
So with this understanding how truly capable we are, truthfully, we finished up with a client last week, an 18-year-old kid, and that's why this became a topic for today's show, is he was doing his testimony at the end. He's like, Bill, I got to tell you everything that you brought to me. And it was one of the best moments. And he said to me, he goes, Bill, truthfully, I stepped into this and I was skeptical. I never understood what a life
taking our picture, by the way. Go ahead.
No worries. He goes, I'm skeptical when I started with you, but when you really started helping me and bringing the advice, I started to understand. And then I started to look at myself and realize I put so many shells on myself. I didn't truly believe in myself to take these steps, but in working with you, it jump started me to where I realized what I was capable of. And that bringing it to sessions, whether it's him as a client or anyone, or even an audience for that matter, when we understand all the tools that we have, or we set a goal for ourselves, right? We set a goal for ourselves. We have these tools, but we don't know how to get there. Like you said at the start, Jill, fears, negativity, areas can step in, which tell you, hey, you can't do it. You're not good enough.
True. Yeah.
Right. But if we realize we have all this power, we have this personal power for that matter to grow ourselves and to achieve these goals, your capabilities far outweigh anything you've ever fathomed. And this one client, 18-year-old kid who just took a shot on this, he is now pursuing his life in such a greater way. He's bringing in, I'm going to say, his goals, his new career, financial prosperity was one of his goals, traveling. And he's really believing right now, okay, I can do this when I take the steps. And that's what it's all about. You become capable when you realize you can take action, because anything is at your fingertips.
That's it. And that's what we're talking about today, the capability. And let me ask you this, by the way, this was a recent client of yours that kind of sparked this whole idea?
Oh yeah, we just finished up. Last Wednesday was our final session. And what his choice was, because I want to see myself take these tools and use them on my own, but I want to work with you again. I'm like, oh, that's phenomenal. I love that, because I want people to take it and then move on. And if he feels he needs to come back, or he's on a new level, he goes, all right, I want to keep going at this pace. But he's building momentum in himself. So we finished last week, and we worked together for the last 3 months. And he even said to me, he goes, Bill, what would have taken me years to do, you helped me do it in a matter of 3 months. And I'm sitting there, I just have such a joy working with people. It's like, I don't realize.
You're like, yeah.
You know?
Oh
but
my gosh.
I love it.
Great. All right. So let's understand what we are truly capable of. How can you undo all these limitations in a sense, and undo this past trauma and this shell in a sense, where we kind of feel confined?
Right. And I think it all starts with what we believe in for that matter. But do we believe in ourselves, or do we believe we're capable? So like you said, where do we start? And there's traumas. There might be layers on us of just disbelief for that matter. However, when we go into it in a session, my goal in a session with a client in the first session is to gauge where they're at. What
Mm-hmm.
level do I see them at, but what level do they believe they're at?
True.
And for this 18-year-old kid, just keep using him as the example because he grew so much, he didn't know where he was at. And I think, truthfully, a lot of the
A lot of
18,
people don't
and
know,
it's
especially
true.
our younger generation.
Yeah, right. Exact. Younger generation, heck, any generation at this point with how the world's become, is that we do feel lost at times. We don't know what steps to take. And for an 18-year-old kid, when he sits there and he tried college, it wasn't for him. He didn't know what steps to take. So in my eyes, a lot of people look at that as limitation. Am I not good enough?
True.
I come into that. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a blank slate. What
Yeah.
do you want for yourself?
What?
And I think the more we take the societal norm off of us that says you have to do X, Y, and Z, you have to go to college, you have to do this, you have to have this by a certain date in your life. When you let those limitations or those layers off and you realize that you can actually believe in yourself to take steps forward, it becomes a lot easier than you thought it was.
Yeah.
Two, you grow your strength in such a way because you realize every single time you take a step of any action,
Is
you're growing, right? So if you're growing and limitations are
growth.
fading, what else are you
And
capable of? That's the beauty.
I think a lot. It's a matter of yeah, what we're scared. There's a lot of fear there. There's a lot of the fear of the unknown
Yep.
is one of them, right?
Right. It's true.
Seriously, yeah.
Yep. It's
And
true.
and you're guiding us step by step how to feel capable again in a sense, right?
Yep, exactly. And I think, it kind of goes into the next point on there is, every time we set a goal for ourselves and we're taking action, we're moving forward, a lot of us get the perspective, and I'm very much in this same boat because this happens to me just as much too. You're taking steps of action and it isn't happening at the time period that you wanted it to. So that is a fact of life because as much as we set a goal for ourselves and we're realizing how capable we are to take these actions and achieve this goal or achieve this life for ourselves, we have to trust that there's a timetable to that. And it might not be our timetable.
Mm.
So to learn certain areas of yourself, to learn new skills that might have been covered up at one time, or to learn a brand new skill, no matter what it is, it will take you time, but there will be obstacles that pop up for you. Right. So if there's these obstacles that are popping up, we need to, and I say it to myself on a daily basis, just keep going. Some days are going to be easy on the journey, some days are going to be difficult, but you are learning the lesson that you're meant to learn in this very moment, which will guide you through the next door of opportunity that's for you. So when these obstacles pop up for us, we need to have the perspective of one, I am capable to get through this. Two, if this is an obstacle, why am I looking at it as a negative thing? Or is it something that's training me to be able to hold on to that which I'm trying to bring into my life? Whether you look at that as manifestation, creation, or just you seeing a goal for yourself and I'm going for it, there will be skills that you learn in the process that allow you to hold on to it when it comes. And that's, I think, why there's a timetable for all of us, because we want it all now. We want the goal. We want it to be here no matter what it is. But will we handle it if we are who we are now? So we
Yeah.
all need to grow into who we're meant to be by taking the steps in this very moment to become that person who can be capable of having all that we search for and want in our life, but also that we can handle it to make sure it's at the best it could possibly ever be.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the programs that you offer, I know they vary for everyone, but you really believe in 3 months a change can be made? Like
That's
minimum of three
yeah.
months, but like, yeah, it's possible. You've seen it
Oh,
clearly. You have amazing testimonials, which we've talked about. We'll talk about more. Also want to open up the phone lines, 631-317-1291, 631-317-1291. If you have any questions for Billy G, again, BillyGLifeCoaching.com. He's here. Ask anything.
love it. But yeah, no, you're 100% right. Like I always said it where if I start with a client, I want there to be a 3-month window because that's 12 weeks, that's 12 sessions. Yes, people can have more sessions where we can meet a couple times a week. I'm in your corner every step of the way
Yeah.
where we might meet on a Wednesday. It's say we meet on a Wednesday at 1 o'clock, like this show right now. And then from that point on, say life's going good, and all of a sudden on Monday, before our next session time, but it's Monday and you just hit a wall. I'm in your corner. I'm right there with you to help you through that. As long as I'm not with another client, I am there willing to help you, hop on a call, text message, whatever it is, to guide you through what you're going through. But like you asked, Jill, I believe that a 3 month window gives us a timetable, because when we have a timetable, I think we show up,
Mhm.
where it's kind of like a test in school, which, I can't say I was the best at half the time, but if there was a deadline, I knew it had to be in by that time. And a lot of people might procrastinate with that. A lot of people might take action straight out the gate with that. But to know that there's a 3 month window where for these next 12 weeks, I am dedicating myself to the best version of myself to take action and move forward. To me, that means after 3 months, you will be a different version, but you will be further along the path than you were when you started. And that's why I always say a 3 month window. But there's been great moments where I always think it's funny, but clients will come in with goals and then more goals will pop up a lot of times. But with how deep our conversations go at times, whether it's on a Zoom or in person, it's like we're hitting everything on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Some people might grasp the entire answer within a couple of weeks. And then at that time, we prep it where to make sure, as we said before, they can hold on to whatever result they're searching for. Because sometimes we get it and then we run off. And then because we didn't have all the skills in place to make sure we can hold on to it or continue to be this version of myself that achieve this result, sometimes we fall back. So
Yeah.
3 months is always what I like to start people with, to make sure they have everything in place to set the tone and then
Mhm.
continue the tone when I'm not working with them anymore.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this. Also, I know we're going to discuss a little bit today about your topic of the week, which is every Sunday, your YouTube channel. But one thing that you say is like, don't give up, just keep going. How does that work?
So no, exactly. Don't give up, just keep going. So again, it comes back like there are going to be tough times. There's going to be struggles on this journey, the obstacles that pop up. However, when you actually dedicate yourself to something, there is no quit. And whether you look at that as I'm burning my boats and I'm dedicating myself to this goal and I'm going to achieve one way or the other, and then the road gets tough and then things start to break, but you're so dedicated where this is it. And I say that because I'm the example of this, as much as many other maybe entrepreneurs listening to this, maybe family members listening to this, whatever it is under the sun right now. When you dedicate yourself and you burn the boats, there is no other option. And I did that with myself, with my business, pursuing, helping people, speaking, being trained by Tony Robbins. Everything under the sun was I'm doing this because I know I'm meant to. Purpose, destiny, whatever term people want to use right now. However, in doing that, one, door's open because you're telling yourself, you're sending a message out to the universe, out to God, saying, like, hey, this is for me. I feel it. I'm making it happen. And then the obstacles come. And fears might step in, doubt might step in, worry step in. But if your concrete belief is just keep going, just in saying that there is an end result that you've been creating, that you've been searching for, that is coming to you. And if you can keep that hope, keep that faith alive to make sure you don't put the ball down, you will get there. So always, no matter what pops up to anyone listening right now, just keep going, and the road gets easier, the road gets smoother. You learn and come out so much stronger than all of it, but just keep going.
I love it. I love it. So, and to inspire people like this, to make them keep going. Some don't want to give up, right? Have you ever worked with someone who was on the verge of like,
Yep.
what are
100%.
some tips to stay so motivated? How do you do it?
Yeah,
I
100%.
mean, it's
I
good to
always
have you, but they're also themselves and they have to be accountable as well.
Yep, no, 100%, exactly. That's a great piece of the coaching. Just as much as I become your
Mm-hmm.
accountability partner right there, where we're meeting every week. There's I always like to give people a little, I call it a homework assignment at the end of every single session. Might not be a written thing like back in the day, but it allows someone, might be a task or something that they need to still focus on out of our session. So
Mm-hmm.
that keeps them on board. So as much as there might be moments where you want to give up or you're doubting yourself or maybe you're just having a bad day.
Yeah.
So there are those assignments in place. However, for someone listening right now that might not work with me, that just needs a little spark, how do I keep going when that struggle comes? I always say, one, remember why you started the entire process in general.
True.
I think there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there, and I actually just came from a session with an entrepreneur who has been pushing in the real estate game, flipping houses and everything like that. And there's been a lot of stress out there in the world because that's an area that a lot of people are in. However, there's more victories coming. So, and I think we talked about last week, Jill, with this victory book idea that, well,
Yeah.
of people telling the victories. he took hold of that. But to kind of branch that out for people right now, tally up the victories in the day. You might be believing that there is a terrible day, there is nothing going on, but I can assure you there is one good thing that happened that day. Whether you woke up, whether you had another opportunity to try something, you might not have gotten it, but you tried. And when we take the focus or the magnifying glass off of how our moments go or how our days go and realize the moment that we're in right now, we direct it by one, our positive energy for that matter, our thoughts for that matter, by our perspective. And yes, a task might be really difficult, but if your perspective is greater than it was maybe in the past moment, which was negative, if your perspective, then your perception will guide you to a greater result because your positive thoughts, it comes back to all that positive thoughts create good energy, which puts it out there to bring great back to you. But it's your perception of the situation you're going through. So if you can believe that everything you're going through right now is prepping you into something greater so you can handle it, okay, kind of puts a
Yeah.
smile on my face to keep going.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, great to hear. And I want to hear some more of your client experiences as well. And also find out more about the YouTube channel, what you did this weekend. 631-317-1291. If you have any questions, 631-317-1291. Go ahead.
Love it. So this past Sunday on YouTube, we actually built off of what you and I talked last week on this healing relationship aspect
Okay.
and helping people truly, honestly, take things back to the beginning. Where yes, there might be stress on relationships. It might, no matter how long, maybe your marriage, how long it's been, and you're kind of set in your ways. And it's worked before, and it's always worked that way. So why would I change? So we bring new aspects where sometimes when things don't change, we're so certain that that's always going to be there. But too much certainty brings boredom or staleness. So we need to bring variety into every aspect of our life, but we need to bring variety into relationships to make sure that joy, that fun, that positive energy is still rolling. And I believe that's what makes relationships last longer. That's what makes relationships heal. But that was this past Sunday. This coming Sunday, our entire message, I believe, is going to be based off of this. Nothing has power over you other than that which you give power to. And
Yep.
that, right? So depending on what we give power to, how do we give power to something? Where you direct your thoughts is where you direct your energy. Where you direct your energy is what you're giving power to. So coming back to what we just said, where people are having a bad day and you're sitting there, oh, all this stuff always happens to me. This is just a terrible day. There's always so many terrible days. Your focus is now on all the fact that you've had these bad days.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even allowing good moments in. So you're giving power to all this
True.
negativity to then direct your life and control your life, but also to the point where your perspective becomes so down and becomes clouded. I can no longer see all the goodness that's coming my way or all around me. So then if I shift that, okay, if that had power over me, but I shift that, all my power is now directed to one, how strong we all are individually in this world, but also how strong and bright we can make our life by directing our power to greater results, directing our power to greater goals. Again, our power being our thoughts. You start to stack up all this goodness. You start to stack up this positivity. This law of attraction, this manifestation. This is, I believe, just the gift of the spirit that we are. We then can create so much goodness in our life. So all those negative emotions, those negative thoughts, those negative factors, they just start to fade away.
Yeah.
From that point on, life gets so great. I want to say life gets good, but life gets so great that you have a smile on your face again. And it just starts the trickle effect because a smile does so much to the brain on such a deep level chemically that you then just naturally are shining light to the rest of the world. How great is that? You turn a bad day into the point where you're just a light to everyone else and you're
Wow.
enjoying it. How
Yeah.
great is that?
That is awesome. We all should live that way, live our best life. Now is the time, grasp it. Yeah, there's so many expressions, right? About, grabbing the horse by its reins and like just, but not everyone has this positive energy like you and I'm not as positive as you, but it's a work in progress, but it's
Yeah,
possible. And could you share another story or two about some other clients?
of course. Yeah. And I'll build off of what you just said, where it's true. Like, I believe everyone's given a different measure, where some people, biblically, it says we're all given a different measure of faith. But if you expand that with our gifts, our skills, and our talents that we have, I believe everyone's given a different portion of that just as much. Where some people are giving this positivity and you could be born with it for that matter, where you shine this positivity, but then you have other people who are going through the struggles.
Yeah.
But they might not have the skills set yet, for that matter, to learn what that all is. So we build it up by continuing to learn. We build it up by setting a goal for ourselves and holding ourselves accountable to grow into that area. But the beauty of that, I say beauty, some people look at it and as a comparison aspect, which might not be the best for us. Every single person in this entire world, your journey is different than everyone else. Everything about you, every experience you've had is going to be different than everyone else, intricate to you.
Yep.
So everyone's journey is different. That means the fears that you face, the obstacles that might pop up along the way, the goals that you set for yourself are so intrinsically built to you. That means you're gaining something out of it that no one else could. So it is then your choice. Will I have the perspective of woe is me, why me, which adds more walls to you? Or if this journey is built for me, how can I unfold this journey to be the
Yep.
best thing that ever happened to me? And that's the beauty of it. We're making decisions every single day to unfold our own journey. All right, well, that's our choice if we're going to see the greatness of that or see the struggle of that. And times will be struggles, times will be tough, times will be phenomenal where everything is going your way. But there's a lesson in all of it that helps you
Yep.
move forward every single step of the way. So you're enjoying the moments more and more as you go. But I'll use the last little bit to give a client example because I love talking about the progress. And I'm so fired up right now. I came from a session an hour ago with a client, and he is doing phenomenal. And so he's someone that we presented that victory book idea that we talked last week on, where you're tallying up your victories. You might not have all the time in the day because work is on your shoulders, the schedule, the chores, everything of the day is so building up. However, you start to give yourself 5 minutes at the end of the night, if that, and you start
Okay.
tallying up the past victory that you've had in your life just to see, okay, good times have happened. Then you move on to the present. Okay, what was a victory that happened today, even if it was simple as waking up? And then you move on to the future. Okay, what's a future victory that I don't just hope, but I know is coming to me and I feel it. And
And
it starts to trickle you from the point of, okay, the negative perspective, no longer having time, to then writing my victories down and realizing, okay, life isn't so bad. So we checked in on that this week, and he brings to us that he's been doing that, his own journal and everything like that
mm-hmm.
every single night. And he's realizing there's a lot more victories that happen in the day. But the beauty of this entire victory book aspect that our clients are doing now is that they're seeing more victories pop up. So he came to session, energy was on a completely higher level, and he explained that he's a realtor. He just signed a house. He just bought his own house, which he I want to say it was on a whim, but he had a dream where for the past 3 years he had a house in Milton out in our area, and he's like, that would be the perfect town to live in. 3 years ago he had the idea. He comes in today. He goes, you know what? I just driving through Milton and I saw a spot for sale.
Wow.
I'm
Yep.
going to build my own house in there. And I bought the land, took action for himself. He made it happen. That manifestation, law of attraction, thought, whatever you want to call it, came to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire session is already on a positive point. But he also brings up that the stressors that have popped up throughout the week, working with other people and people not responding to him or people being negative, and he's trying to be a positive light to in his own life, but to everyone else. He brings today, he's asking questions like, okay, like I want to make sure I'm responding the right way. And it does get tough. Like, what am I supposed to do? So we've been working with him maybe for about 6 weeks now. And he's realizing, and I'm seeing it happen in him, his emotional intelligence, his emotional level to control himself and respond correctly or respond the right way rather than reacting to people is on such a high level. So our session was dedicated to helping him see, okay, you
And
are responding the right way. You are growing. You are seeing all this stuff. And then from that point on, he just began to realize, oh my goodness, I'm doing it. And it's like that aha moment in a session where every single week he shows up and he's more than willing. I love the kid because he takes action. And we talk in a session, then from the next time we meet, he's made progress. And he's like, well, Bill, I just sat there. I was like, if I'm gonna be here, I need to do it. I need to hold myself accountable and take action in my life to make it happen. That's why he ended up buying a lot of land. He ended up moving forward. He's like, Bill, this is what I want for my life. And I appreciate you so much for guiding me every step of the way to realize my own ability to respond in this way, to take this action, and you providing the guiding steps to help me do it. But I'm doing it. I'm like,
yeah,
exactly. You're doing
doing
it.
it.
Momentum is building. I got motivated off it. That's why I have so much energy right now. But just
I
seeing
hear.
people take action in these sessions, I give that to anyone listening right now. Even if you don't work with me, take action on that which has been on your mind for years and watch as the pieces come together, because that's the only way we create the life that we're seeking to create.
And you always put a song in my head. Another one you probably don't even know. I don't even know who sings it. It goes, doing it and doing it and doing it well. Do you know that song?
I probably have heard it
Is it
before.
like Tone Loc or like what are these like old rap songs? Anyway, sorry. Always digressing. And when it comes to music, I can't help it.
Love it.
And any idea what's happening for your topic this weekend? Do you have anything coming up? Any workshops you want to share with us?
We're putting workshops together. We're actually, so I'm in, anyone listening, I'm in the Boston area, Massachusetts. And as much as we're on in person for the area for coaching sessions, we're on Zoom for everyone else. We've got clients in Canada, all across the country for that matter. But we're trying to put this workshop together for the Massachusetts area, the Boston area. And it's actually dedicated to helping
Awesome.
young adults struggling with mental health. And really, one, teaching that age group, but two, also teaching them. I was a mentor for so long in the inner cities. We're hoping to give back to the mentors to help them learn new ways to reach in and help people and truly teach people about the mind, so that at that point they can help themselves. So that's on the table. It's not finalized yet, but it's a workshop coming together, and I love every single second of it, because teaching people, one, helping people, but helping people see their own strengths to help themselves. You can't ask for any better, because that just, the domino effect happens, and they teach someone, and then they teach someone, and so on and so
Just
forth.
like how you learned and you started
Yeah.
working. And again, you studied alongside Tony Robbins. I mean, just a little bit about yourself if people don't know. Would you mind sharing?
Of course. Yep. So I was trained by Tony Robbins and his team of therapists. I did that years ago. And then after that, it was my decision to essentially go my own way and to take all these tools and to continue to grow and learn in these different areas. That's why I said to start the trifecta, where yes, I can help people in a, I would say more of a therapeutic way, because I was in the therapy field for so long. However, when I realized all these other areas to continue to help people improve, to create that self-improvement and personal development, I wanted to learn how we can bring the mind together with the spirit, the body. So every aspect of our life is growing and moving forward. And Tony, I have to give so much credit to that, because it sparked the fire. And then when the fire started burning, it's just, all right, go. The gates open, run, learn, take action, as we just said we want to do. It all started to unfold. So bringing that to people now, whether it's in a coaching session or seminar or workshop, I love every single second of it.
Beautiful. And would you mind sharing the best form and all forms of contact for us today?
Of course, guys, go to BillyGLifeCoaching.com. You can read all about everything that we do, what we bring to sessions, the results we can bring to you. You can see some speaking aspects on there from our YouTube channel and some pictures from our recent events. But guys, you can set up your own strategy session. Set up that, you go directly to my schedule. You choose a time that works best for you, and I'm going to be right there with you. Hop on that call and helping you. So BillyGLifeCoaching.com. You can go to Instagram at Billy Giannouloudis. You can see all of our motivational posts, everything to help you throughout the day, whatever it might be, to learn more about everything that we're bringing to the table. You go to YouTube once a week with Billy G. That's every single Sunday, guys, for the past, I believe, 288 straight weeks right now. We're bringing you a motivational message to help you move forward throughout the week and set the tone moving forward for your day, the week, the month, the year, whatever it is. And then you can go to Facebook, look up Billy Giannouloudis or Billy G Life Coaching, and I'll be right there for you guys.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. And here he is one more time, the man of the hour. Hit it.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Billy Giannouloudis of Billy G Life Coaching. You can find me here on the Podcast Business News Network, where we'll be diving into my results.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting. I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great
barrier just knocked down. I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.